It's Floetic, it's Floetic, it's Floetic.
She hails from Cincinnati, Ohio. She has authored a book. She has done a few CDs, if I'm not mistaken, and she's currently working on a project now. Everybody, please put your hands together for Miss Floetic Flo.
Thank you. So this first piece I'm gonna do for y'all, people always ask me, they're kind of like, how long you been doing? Well, I'm just gonna give you the scenario. Do y'all know her right there? That's that girl they call Floetic Flo. Floetic Flo, what she do? They say she do poetry. Poetry? What you mean she do poetry? She talk about words? Yeah, she talk about words, and she do all type of other things and stuff. She get on stage and, you know, she just kind of tell people her life story, what she been going through and all like that. I wonder how long she been doing poetry. Excuse me, Miss Floetic Flo. Can you please tell me how long you been doing poetry? Well, I was poetry before I could breathe. Hieroglyphics left on walls for historians to read. Inscriptions that create mental pictures, inseminated with knowledge so wisdom can form in my womb. I was made precisely right because God didn't want me to give birth too soon. Because 9 months wasn't long enough to carry what I endured. The enduration of life bull, of being rough, uppercut, slapped, and jacked up. The enduration of being loved too soon, but not soon enough. So my heart triggered, it became cold like icicles, and then it melted into blue ink on white pages so I could flow into existence. Then I mentioned, I was poetry before I could breathe. The remnants of foundations were broken in two. The connection of two to equal one. Answers to questions that I didn't even know I had. They came forth so I could have a better understanding. Solutions to problems that I didn't even know I had. Like dissected alphabets that had meaning all by themselves. The atoms that flow in the aftermath. I am the lipstick left on the glass. I'm the reflection of a mirror broken into a million pieces. I told y'all I was poetry before I could breathe. Now call me life's equal. I am what infinity equals. I'm always being read, but I'm never understood. You see, I'm the molestation of syllables that turn into the truth. I am truth that turn into diaries, diaries that turn into journals, journals that turn into me. I told y'all I was poetry before I could breathe. My tongue was snatched from my mouth. Now I'm the voice that you read. Aborted fetuses left on toilets. They ripped the words from my uterus. Now I use the blood from my ink. I told you I was poetry before I could breathe. I am potential turning into kinetic. I'm the bastard child of the art of war and the art of seduction when they finally decided to make love together. I'm the consequences of what happens when God slaps his hands together. Now, maybe you'll understand. I was poetry before I could ever breathe. So I always tell people the reason why I do poetry is because God knew I wasn't gonna be able to afford therapy, and I come from a family that put the fun in dysfunction. So, you know, he said, let me give her some before she be one of these mad lunatics around here. And my theory is that the world give you the dictionary so you can communicate with people, but God give you the Bible so you can communicate with yourself. So when you ask, well, God, why is this happening to me? Well, why not you? Well, yesterday I was at B100 and I met with Miss Debbie, Walker Flocka Mama, and we was talking and she said, well, sweetheart, if you believe that, then why are you so angry still? And I had to go home and think about it. I had to go to my room. I was kind of upset, like, well, why am I still angry? Well, just because you understand that stuff can happen to you, that still don't mean you ain't gonna be angry about it. You know, you entitled to be angry about what happens to you. So with that being said, I often question God, and because if I got a relationship with him, and if I can't question with him, who can? You know, so. My God let me swallow a dictionary today, and ever since then, things ain't been the same. Now, I inhaled alphabets until my belly swelled, and it made me sick. And the regurgitation was a condemn of metaphors and similes, antonyms and synonyms. And just when I thought I threw up my last, out of my mandible came stanzas, and they began to dance. My verbs and nouns begin to sound profound. I begin to flow Edgar Allan Poe's woes, spit Sonia Sanchez's prose, because I now understood why the cage bird would sing. You see, she, like me, could now explain the satire that caused her so much pain. Now, people often tell me that my sonnets and ballads sound lyrically enraged, but it is no more than the righteous wordplay that God let me inhale that day. But still, I pray that my tongue will refrain from speaking everything that my medulla oblongata conceives it to say. Because the sword can be deadly, and I would rather walk than crawl up crystal stairs. You see, I believe that God has a purpose for everything, so I know my heaven must be near. So now I use my ink to define my fears, because both evidence appearing real and still kills throughout the years. So hopefully the freedom of expression will let me live. Because after all, God did let me swallow a dictionary that day, and ever since then, things ain't been the same. It's been a fluctuation and mixture of syllables to explain my existence. I now use catchphrases to inspire mental pictures. I'll spit to anybody that'll listen, because I want y'all to remember that when I write, I die. So far, I've attended my funeral over 1,000 times. Now, they say poetry saved the life, but it really just opened up the vortex of my mind. It made my reality come alive. And now with facts on paper, I wonder, God, do you see me when I cry? Because sometimes I still feel as though I may die. But I know he hears me every time I put a mic in my hand or I step up on the stage, but still I have to ask, Father, if reading scripture is so important, does it make sense without the definition? And if so, well, don't that just make it meaningless literature? But then I stopped, because I figured that's probably why my God let me swallow a dictionary that day. Thank you.